Hi there, Carol Ann, Queen of Scraps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Cambridge, New Zealand. I just made the video showing you how to make these cards that we made as part of our May 2024 Love It Chop It class. And we had some leftover bits. And I wanted to give you a bonus card to show you how to use some of these leftovers. So we also had a couple of pieces like this, but it's particularly these thinner bits. I want to show you, give you an idea. And I'm going to base it very much, just slight change of dimensions on this card. This was part of a shoebox swap I did with a couple of demonstrators, and one of whom this was the one that Margaret Bell designed, and she's currently using imperial measurements, so it's slightly different sizes, American sizes. So I'm going to modify it slightly, but the idea is the same. And I'm also going to use this lovely stamp set that she used, Happy Little Things. So what we do, these are our little strips that are left over, and we are going to trim them down a teeny bit to make them right, and we're going to do a couple of little techniques that'll add some interest, if you don't find this interesting enough already. So I did write down the measurements here. Where have I got the measurements? Here we go. I don't think I wrote that measurement down. So here's her little sketch, and I've modified some of these numbers, but let's just measure that. So that is almost 9 centimeters, but we'll make it a little less, I think. And there's a couple of these that are smaller, so 8. Okay, let's make them 8 centimeters, and we may have a couple that are 8.5, but they can all be the same size. This is just a way of using up some scraps. So let's try 8.5 there. 8.5. They're just a little bit long if you leave them this size for what we're trying to do. I don't know that I'm going to give you a design using these teeny bits. I'm just going to cut these all the same length, in fact. 8.5. Just an easy idea for using up some scraps. Especially when you're doing a bulk, using a cutting template as we have here. So have we got enough pieces? This one I've already inked up because I was showing demonstrating how to ink up. So I don't know whether I want that colour on there, because we've mainly got more of these pinks and greens rather than the peachy ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, we are going to need a couple more. So I'm just going to cut up one of my strips. Right, I had to cut into another scrap, but I've got 5 pieces that are all the same. So they're 2 centimeters by 8.5. And I've already had something I found that I already had embossed. It's a failed attempt at something else. So I'm going to just stick that down just onto a white card base. So that white on white look that Margaret did is always a nice opportunity in our card making for a fresh look. So I'm just going to pop that on there. So that's onto a standard metric card base. And then you can work out which way around you want these to go. I usually sort of lay them out into position and get a bit of an idea of, whether I'm happy with how it's looking. I think that's pretty nice. But there's a couple of little extra details that Margaret had done, and I just wanted to show you how you can do this yourself. Very easy to add a little bit of colour. I think we might have to use the pink. I'm going to use the petunia pop here. And all we're going to do, you just take you could use a blending brush, which gives a slightly different effect, and you could use a finger dauber, which also gives us a slightly different effect. But if you don't have those, or if you just want to do a slightly different look, all you're doing is just dipping just sort of put it on an angle so you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. You just kind of putting this on about a 45-degree angle into the pad, and depending on how much of an angle you have and how long you hold it there, you'll get a little edge on your strip, and that just adds a nice little something. I'm just going to add, and it just ties everything together as well, and it's just quite a quick way of adding a little bit of extra definition. So I'm just going to go around, add these ones on. I might edit this out if you're lucky. Oh, got a bit carried away with that one. Right, now that's that one done, and we're just going to stick these in. I usually start off these, you can do these wonky and overlapping, or you can do them all vertical. Whichever way you want to do it is going to work. I might just use this one, that one's getting a bit low. And I usually put the middle one in first, so that helps you space things out. If you want these evenly spaced, you can use your mat here to help you get your spacing. You can see if I line that up, there's the 0 here, and space it out so I know this is going to be pretty much in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that gives you a few more options if you do it like that. I'm going to, some of these I'm going to put higher, and some of these I'm going to put lower. Actually, I'm going to do the edge ones next, and then you can put the other ones in the gap, so that helps you get them evenly spaced. If that's what you're wanting, and I think that is what we're wanting here. Here we go, and I could use those other sides too. And I'm going to pop that one there. Oh, that's the wrong side. Carol Ann, don't do what I did. Do I want that one there? Might have to put that one there. It's a bit tricky otherwise. So it doesn't matter if we've got a couple that are the same, clearly. Okay, so we've got that one ready. Just concentrate. I was probably thinking of too many things. Now I've got a little strip that I'm going to do the stamping on, and I have cut that I've cut it 13 by 3.5. Obviously the size that you cut it really does depend on the sentiment set you're going to be using. So this is a very cool one. It's two-step stamping, but I'm not going to use it that way. So you can stamp the outline in one colour and then fill it in with another colour. And then it's got little extra words that can either go on the inside or complete the sort of sentiment. So I'm going to do the celebrate and the, I can't even remember what this one says now. You are incredible. Celebrate, you are incredible. So that's a nice little sentiment to have there. I'm going to stamp, as we have on the other one, I'm going to stamp in black, stamp the celebrate in black. So we just want to do this onto a mat so that we're getting a nice, here we go, this is what I want to use, this one here. Great thing is with these polymer stamps, you can see where you're going, and I'll be able to get that nicely centered in here. So let's just put that in probably a little bit to the top so we've got space for the sentiment underneath, the rest of the sentiment. That's our celebrate. And the other little phrase I'm going to use, I think I'll use the pink one again, seeing as, in fact I'll use the Berry Burst, which is the slightly darker pinky purple that's in there. You are incredible. And I'm just going to pop that there. It's going to have a little bit of overlap. And just to give that, you could use the same inking technique around those edges, but another option you can do is to use a pen, and which is what we did in the one that we did with Margaret. And look, the thing is about this one, when you use a double line like this, part of the look doesn't have to be perfect. So we just sort of go around the edge. This is a bit lacking in oomph, this pen, but it doesn't even matter if you go off the edge. Believe me, we'll just make that join up. It looks like it's supposed to. Okay, and then we're just going to go back over, just sort of overlapping that line. So you've got this double line going around. Oh, I think this must be not the pen I used before. This one's a bit lacking in ink. Oh, we're off the edge as well. Anyway, here's our little sentiment, which is just going to pop on here with some dimensionals. And that'll be the card finished. Super easy. Let me just put these dimensionals on. Get this stuck down. And I'm just using up some of my edge pieces here. That's just a very simple way of using up some scraps, and you just need to trim them to length. They're a bit long otherwise. And I'm just going to pop these bits in here a little bit more. Don't be stingy. I used to be very stingy with my dimensionals, but I've learnt that things tend to get a little crushed in the mail if you are too stingy. So just so you're, especially if you're posting things, they are inclined to get a little crushed. So put enough on. It's just that final little finishing touch. Get all these bits off. I haven't followed my own advice and put packing tape on all these pieces like I showed in that little tip video. You'll see that in my tip video if you're wanting to try that one out. So we're just going to pop that, so it pops over there. And we have got some shimmer gems we can use. So these are the in colour shimmer gems, and I'm just going to put a couple of those on. I might just use these ones again in the pinky colours, couple in the pinky colour, and I'm going to put a couple down here. Oop, just dropped that one. Probably should be using my tool, but you know, sometimes we get carried away with our own excitement. Come back here. Oh dear, have I lost my sticky bit? I have. Sometimes if you find it won't stick, it's because the sticky bit has stayed on the carrier sheet. So if that happens, now I've lost it all together. You can just stick it back on to the carrier sheet and try and get them to match up again. Put on a hard surface to get it to match up. That should come off now with the glue dot behind it. And I'm going to use another one of those darker pink ones. This is the petunia pop. And petunia pop, let's just get a... Oh, these are slightly different ones, I've forgotten that. These are the shimmer ones and these are the flat ones. So maybe I should just use, I'll just use the flat ones here. I'll just do that. There we go, and we're going to mix and match the colours. And this one's going to come up to the top. There we go. So that's my little card. Celebrate, you are incredible. And it's just another idea for you. Great. So this one is one of the other new papers. I meant to mention this at the start. It's a lovely, another suite. And it is called, let's just find what it's called. Have we got it here? No, we've been using Unbounded Beauty. I'm going to find you the one it's called. There we go. Full of life. Isn't that a great colour palette? And yep, full of life. It's not a sweet. Oh yeah, it is a sweet. It is a sweet. It's got all these beautiful, bright, very happy colours, and you can see from some of the samples in the book, in the catalogue, you don't need to do add a ton to them to make some gorgeous cards. Right, okay, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you can share some cards with me that you've made soon. Bye.